Oh boy, if last week was dead, this week is 180 the opposite directions. There are a lot of games just on Steam alone. Steam is having a sale celebrating their 20th anniversary, plus Sega and Square Enix, so there are many games to talk about. Halo the Master Chief Collection is just $9.99. Let's start off with what I think is probably the best deal of the week when it comes to pure bang for your buck. You get Halo 1 through 4, with 1 and 2 being their anniversary editions and getting several updates, plus Halo ODST, and Halo Reach is also available on this one. This is basically a one-stop package for most Halo fans. All you're missing out is on Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. And are you really missing that much when those are the ones that are left out? Next, we have a bunch of Square Enix games on sale. Let's start off with Final Fantasy VII Remake Intrigade. Normally this goes for $70. This is on sale for $40. I enjoyed the remake of this quite a bit, and basically one of the things I have to say I enjoyed about the remake is the original Final Fantasy VII wasn't quite good at kind of showing what life was like in Midgar. Yeah, it's supposed to be a hellscape, but the only thing they really did is everything is brown. Whether you're above surface or below, everything is brown and dirty. With this remake, we get to see a bit more depth put into it. So you understand what it's like to live below the plate, to have the sun blocked out, to have all this junk and garbage, and it's not just one color brown. You get to see what the above state is. If you're middle class or if you're upper class, they do a better job, and it really does flesh out the story. The filler and some of the extra stuff they added into the characters were actually well done. The only part I'm not quite so sure of, and I'll try to expand on it if I ever do a full review, is the ending. Part 2 is either going to make it a whole lot better than the original PlayStation, or it's just going to suck all over. We'll just have to wait and see. Then we have Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII for $34.99, normally $60. Here's another edition I didn't think I'd like so much. The latest Crisis Core takes the Final Fantasy VII Remake character designs, voice acting cast, and then redoes the PSP game almost faithfully to a T, with a lot of quality of life improvements. This is the Switch version shown here, but I had fun with it, and I do believe it's worth $35 if you're a Final Fantasy fan. Again, the new voice cast really knocks this game out of the park. The only one that doesn't do quite as good as the PSP version, unfortunately, is Zack Fair, but even his new voice isn't that bad. Then going back to classic JRPGs, we have Chrono Trigger for $7.49, normally $15. A lot of people say this is the best JRPG of all time. I'm saying not really. Best 16-bit JRPG, it's certainly in the debate. While I don't put this on my list as my favorite JRPG, I can understand why it goes there. Great gameplay, great story, and it's just the right amount of time for what it offers. This can be beaten in about 20 hours, but with the new game plus and plenty of extras, the fun will go on, and this can last 50, 60, even 100 hours. So it's definitely worth trying out. Then we have Final Fantasy IX. This is probably the best Final Fantasy game ever made. It has great gameplay and probably the best story, in my opinion, dealing with one's purposes of life. All the characters that you get in your party, except for one, are memorable, and even the unmemorable one isn't unlikable. He's just kind of there. There's a lot of humor too and charm. This game is worth the full $20, but getting it for $10.50 is an absolute steal. Don't sleep on this if you haven't played Final Fantasy IX, pick it up. Finally, we get Chrono Cross. This is the first time I've seen this on sale, and I haven't played much through the remake, but what I see is they did basically the same remake of the character designs that they did in Final Fantasy IX. and even increased some of the frame rate and animations, making it look smoother. So I'm kind of looking forward to replaying it with the new designs. I have played through the original PlayStation 1 version. It's not as good as Trigger. In fact, it kind of does one of the sins I think a sequel shouldn't do, and that's basically everyone in the original Chrono Trigger did not live happily ever after. In fact, the main characters kind of died miserably off screen. But beyond that, it's an okay story. There's too many characters to really have great memorable characters, but the plot is okay and it's a great follow-up. While Trigger deals with time travel, Chrono Cross is dealing more with different timelines and different realities, as things that Chrono and the crew did in the original game have set up a whole span of events, causing reality to break. So that's basically what this one's about. It's not bad. World of Final Fantasy is the next game on sale. It's normally $24.99. Here it's on sale for $9.99. Final Fantasy meets Pokemon, and it doesn't suck. You traverse through classic Final Fantasy games while you help the two protagonists try to recover their memories. The story's good, but it would be better if it didn't try too hard to be funny. The dad jokes, for the lack of get old fast, but the gameplay is there, and the overall plot certainly isn't bad. I do recommend at least giving it a try. Remember, you do have 2 hours to refund the games on Steam. Finally, we get to the Sonic the Hedgehog games. You got Sonic Mania for $4.99. It's usually $20. This is a Sonic game for Sonic fans, made by Sonic fans. There are stages that are remastered from Genesis, followed by really fun stages that are remakes. It's just a really fun retro blast, a type of game that captures the Sonic the Hedgehog games in the way you want to remember them instead of how they are with the aging Genesis hardware. Definitely pick it up if you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan and you haven't picked it up. Another one that's also on sale for $4.99, also goes for around $20, is Sonic Generations. Now this one's a unique game. Basically, it gives you classic Sonic levels in 2Ds, and then you get to run through at the modern Sonic the Hedgehog in 3D, and then when you get to later stages focusing on later games, you'll get stages that were 3D now transferred into 2D to have classic Sonic running around. It's actually kind of a neat experiment, and it's a really fun game. So I would definitely recommend it for $4.99. Finally, we have one more game I found on sale from Humble Bundle. This one is $9.99. It normally goes for $40, and that's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. If you've liked Castlevania Symphony of the Night, if you like the Igarashi era Castlevania games, this one's for you. It was done by Igarashi himself and done quite well. Basically, you're again stuck in a haunted castle. You have to stop these shard masters from being misused and basically stop someone who was your friend until he overcame by evil. And yes, he's kind of Dracula, but you have to go through the castle and beat him. It's a really fun time, and I do recommend getting it for $40. This is Tommy the Game Master. If you have any type of games you recommend on sale, please leave them in the comments below. If you found this guide helpful to getting some weekend entertainment, please leave a like. You have a wonderful day. Bye.